So today is the last Sunday in Women's History Month. Also today, Kurt is going to speak about the importance of forgiveness. So in an attempt to unite both of these ideas, I'd like to highlight a woman whose level of forgiveness is astoundingly Christ-like. In 1993, Mary Johnson's 20-year-old son, Loramian Bird, was at a party in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He got into a fight with then 16-year-old O'Shea Israel. And in the heat of the argument, in the heat of the moment, O'Shea shot and killed Loramian. O'Shea received a 25-year prison sentence. And Mary, to use her own words, said, "I'd been carrying around this huge bag full of bitterness, full of hatred, full of anger for years." Then she decided to do something incredible. 12 years after her son's murder, she visited O'Shea in prison. The visit lasted 2 hours, and at the end of their visit, the two hugged, and Mary said, "I physically felt the pain and hatred move, and I felt it leave my body." Her forgiveness had healed her. But Mary's forgiveness went beyond the visit at Stillwater Correctional Facility in Bayport, Minnesota. Once O'Shea served 15 years of his sentence, he was released. He then moved into a house next door to Mary, and their relationship became almost like mother and son. NPR has a program called Storyboard. And Storyboard interviewed Mary and O'Shea in 2011. Here's an excerpt from that interview. Mary: 12 years after my son's death, you and I met at Stillwater Prison. I wanted to know if you were in the same mindset of what I remembered from court, where I wanted to come over and just hurt you. But you were not that 16-year-old. You were a grown man. And so I decided to share with you about my son.
And he became human to me. And when it was time for your visit to end, you broke down and you started shedding tears. And the initial thing to do was just to try to hold you up as best I could, just hug you like I would my own mother.
And I began to say to myself, I just hugged the man who murdered my son. I instantly knew that all that anger and the animosity, all the stuff I had in my heart for 12 years for you, I knew it was over, that I had totally forgiven you.
As far as receiving forgiveness from you, sometimes I still don't know how to take it because I haven't totally forgiven myself yet. It's still a process that I'm going through.
You know, I treat you as I would my own son. My natural son is no longer here. I didn't get to see him graduate. Now, you're going to college. Hopefully, I'll get to see you graduate. I didn't get to see him get married. Hopefully, one day, I'll be able to experience that with you.
You still believe in me. And the fact that you can do it despite how much pain I caused you, it's amazing. I love you, lady.
I love you too, son. As time passed, O'Shea Israel did marry and have a family. And he still lives in the Minneapolis area. Mary Johnson met a man whose last name was Roy, and they married. And she passed on March 27th, 2024. at the age of 71 after a 4-year battle with Lewy body dementia. But before the disease took her, she founded an organization called From Death to Life, a nonprofit dedicated to ending violence through healing and reconciliation between families of victims and those who have caused the harm. Her story of forgiveness was included in a 2018 documentary titled Risking Light. Risking Light. An appropriate title for the story of a woman who lived into being light in the midst of darkness. Mary Johnson Roy's forgiveness was extended to Oshea, Israel without limitation, and both of their lives were enriched as a result. Let her example of forgiveness shine as a beacon of light for a world mired in bitterness, anger, and animosity. If our light, a light fueled by our relationship with a living Christ, if our light doesn't shine, whose will? Welcome to worship. We are so glad you're here.